WWE has had a few different iterations of tag team titles over the course of its decades-long history. There have been the World Tag Team titles, the WWE Tag Team titles, the Unified WWE Tag Team titles, and many more. Some great teams such as the Dudley Boys, the Hardy Boys, the Usos, the New Day, teams that don't begin with the, such as Edge and Christian, and more, have all made histories with their titles. However, WWE has also had some truly random teams hold tag team gold as well. With so many different titles and hundreds of different teams existing over the years, there are some teams that could have been forgotten over the course of time. But as a wrestling list maker, we don't forget things. With that being said, welcome to Honor Wrestling Club, and here are the 10 most random tag teams you probably forgot were tag team champions of the world! Welcome to the club. In number 10, we have Santino Marella and Vladimir Kozlov. The early 2010s were a rough time for everyone in WWE, especially the tag team division. Teams were being thrown together left and right at the most random of times, as you'll soon find out through this list. They were also being given brief title runs. One of those was Santino Marella and Vladimir Kozlov. The two began teaming in 2010 and eventually defeated the Nexus, the Usos, and Mark Henry and Yoshitatsu to win the titles. The two actually had pretty decent chemistry together as well. I remember enjoying them as a child. They had a brief run with the titles before they would lose them and break up. As of 2025, Marella currently works for TNA as the Director of Authority, and in 2024 Kozlov also did begin a brief return to wrestling in TNA. There he was aligned with Dango. He's also the VP of Quasar Entertainment. So way to go, Vladimir! At number 9, we have Jason Jordan and Seth freaking Rollins. When Jason Jordan was revealed as the kayfabe son of Kurt Angle, fans were like, huh? Why is it not Chad Gable? However, WWE really tried to push him as a major babyface. They did everything, even pairing him with Seth Rollins in a tag team. Together, they won the Raw Tag Team titles and held them for 34 days. However, fans wanted none of Jordan, including a great segment on the 25th anniversary of Raw. They were on a talk show. I can't remember if it was Cutting Edge or The Peep Show on Miz TV or one of the 900 others there are. But he got booed out of the building on that episode of Roy's great promo. However, Jordan would suffer a serious injury that forced him to retire from in-ring action, where he's now currently a producer for WWE, and a pretty damn good one as well, making the occasional on-screen appearance to separate brawls and not really do all that much. As for Rollins, he's one of Raw's top stars on the roster, a multi-time world champion, and currently forming his own Evolution stable following a successful win in the main event at WrestleMania. He's done pretty damn well for himself. In number 8, we have Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro, currently known as Claudio Castagnoli, are two of WWE's most underrated stars of all time. So when WWE somehow did not know what to do with either one of them, they threw them together in a tag team known as the Artist Collective. To be fair, they did solid as the SmackDown Tag Team Champions for a month, as you'd expect. Currently, Nakamura is a former United States champion with a title he's held 3 times. As for Cesaro, he would remain with WWE until 2022. That same year he would sign with AEW, and he was a AEW Trios World Champion and is currently a member of the Death Riders at the time of recording. In number 7, we have the team of Showmiz. The Big Show and The Miz were only a tag team for less than a year, but they did do well for themselves, didn't they? Collectively known as Showmiz, one of the greatest names for a tag team ever, they won the Unified Tag Team Championships once. After they lost those titles, they broke up right away, and this was following Show binning off his other fantastically named team of Jerry Show, which has a banging theme song by the way. In 2021, the Big Show surprisingly left WWE after seemingly being a lifer. That year he was revealed to have signed with AEW as No More BS Paul White. Get it? While he was a commentator and wrestler over there, he does make rare appearances these days. The Miz, meanwhile, remains in WWE and is approaching genuinely 20 years in the company. Well done, Mike. His most recent title win was a World Tag Team title reign with R-Truth last year. That being 2024, in case you're watching this in the year 2037. In number 6, we have John Cena and Batista. John Cena has had some truly random tag team partners in his career. Mostly they were all people that he feuded with, and that's where all his tag team title reigns came from. we have the Nexus, Shawn Michaels, and The Miz all being notable examples. Another one, however, was Batista. There were two major rivals who were booked together, as is the way with John Cena. They defeated Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr. to win the titles, however they only held them for a week. Both Cena and Batista are certified legends in the business. By this time next year, both of them will be retired from the ring. Cena is currently embarking on his last WWE run to try and ruin wrestling, as if he didn't do that back in early 2010s. However, Batista has turned his focus to acting and has retired in 2019. Much like Batista, Cena has begun to focus much more on acting, which is what this final run is all about. In number 5, we have CM Punk and Kofi Kingston. In 2008, CM Punk and Kofi Kingston aligned together to face Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr. for the World Tag Team titles. In a shocking upset, they won the gold. This was shortly after CM Punk was World Champion as well. However, it was an overall brief reign. 47 days later, they lost the gold to The Miz and John Morrison. After CM Punk's long hiatus, he would rejoin WWE in 2023, and has genuinely been on one of the best runs of his career. Kingston has remained with the promotion for years, however, and the two are both in WWE after years of being good chums, with Kingston being in the New Day and Punk being on the top singles star whatever brand he's required on. I think he's officially signed to Raw, but I'm not 100% certain. In number 4, we have Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. Man, this team would be a bigger deal nowadays, wouldn't it? As Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre are two of the biggest stars in all of wrestling. However, over 10 years ago, they were certified mid-card talent that were teaming together. The duo formed following an attack on Christian and Matt Hardy. At Night of Champions 2010, they won the gold. But their reign was not too long, as they lost the titles after 34 days. I told you these reigns were brief. As of writing, Rhodes was just lost the WWE Championship to John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania, but he's still the top babyface in the company. As for McIntyre, however, he's one of SmackDown's top heels and a former world champion who does nothing but tell the truth and be very funny. In number 3, we have The Right to Censor. The Right to Censor was an Attitude Era stable from 2000 to 2001 who were very over as heels and have the most annoying theme song of all time. It's true, don't try and tell me in the comments it's not. They were led by Steven Richards, who recruited names over time. Two of these names were The Godfather, who was repackaged The Good Father, and Paul Buchanan. The two were the members of the group that captured the WWE Tag Team Championships. After 34 days, The Right to Censor lost the titles to Edge and Christian, a much better tag team. Currently, The Godfather makes a few appearances here and there at independent shows, also running his, how to put this nicely, escort service, I believe, in Vegas. As for Buchanan though, he doesn't wrestle often anymore. However, his son Brooks Jensen does compete down in NXT. In number 2, we have Deuce and Domino. In 2007, Deuce and Domino debuted on the main roster after being in OVW. They managed to make a major impact upon their arrival. They were immediately put into the Tag Team Championship picture. On April 20th, 2007, they won the titles, with a solid reign holding the titles for 132 days. Way to go, guys! They would lose the titles to MVP and Matt Hardy later that year, who also could have been on this list. As of writing, the two have not wrestled for years, with Juice's match being in 2014, whereas Domino lasted much longer in the industry, wrestling until 2016. And at number 1, we have Kenzo Suzuki and Rene Dupree. Kenzo Suzuki was only in WWE for about a year. During that time, he didn't really do all that much, except annoy Tori Wilson and undergo a huge character change from what he was initially intended to be. However, he did manage to capture the Tag Team Championships with Rene Dupree, because of course he did. But everyone's been Tag Team Champion, it's like the Grammys. Dupree was himself an accomplished Tag Team competitor. Suzuki and Dupree held the titles for roughly around 3 months, but they were never champions that made a major impact. They lost the championships to Rob Van Dam and Rey Mysterio, who cheated to beat them, despite being the babiest of babyfaces. After losing the titles, Suzuki had a couple more programs before he would leave in 2005. He still does occasionally compete here and there, as does Dupree. And there you have it, there's our list, so what do you think? Let us know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button if you're new. That's all for now, so I'd just like to thank you for watching and welcome you to the club. See ya!